At St John of God Healthcare, we aspire to exceptional performance beyond what is required by the National Safety and Quality Health Service standards through the delivery of high-quality, safe, patient-centred care. From 2019, there are 8 mandated national standards. Within those, there are 6 focus areas. They are consumer participation, end-of-life care, individual goals of care, care of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, nutrition and hydration, and shared decision-making. Let's take a look at these. First, consumer participation, which relates to patients being actively involved as partners in their own care and having more of a voice at every step. Health consumers will partner with the hospital in the planning, delivery, measurement and evaluation of systems and services. Care of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. It's important we strengthen our partnerships and relationships with local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities and services to ensure equity of access and services and the provision of culturally safe and appropriate care. Our focus on individual goals of care means we now undertake integrated screening and assessment processes in collaboration with our patients to deliver patient-focused, comprehensive care plans. A consultation process between caregivers and the patient to help make the right decisions when it comes to patient care and goals is now part of our care plan. Caregivers must ensure the nutrition and hydration needs of our patients are identified, documented, assessed, monitored and met. Our focus on end-of-life care means advanced care plans must be documented and available. All these 6 focus areas are represented within the 8 mandated national standards. The 8 national standards guide provision of safe and high-quality care. While this is just a brief overview, you'll receive ongoing communication around these as we prepare for accreditation and beyond. As a St John of God healthcare giver, here's what you need to do. Firstly, clinical governance. Ensure you are only accessing and using relevant policies and procedures. Make sure you access and use patient safety and quality of care data to inform quality improvement activities. In the event of a risk or incident, make sure you report it on RiskMan. It's also advised that you know the top 3 incidents reported in your area and what is being done to improve patient safety and quality of care, and participate in improvements that lead to improved patient care and experience. Partnering with consumers. This means you should work in partnership with patients and carers to improve care and services. Ensure information provided to patients and carers is easily understood, and use translation services when required. You should always promote person-centred care, which meets the physical, emotional and spiritual needs of our patients and their families. It's also important to provide timely communication with patients, ensuring information is accurate, relevant, comprehensive and in a language they can understand. You should also make sure your patients have access to information on their rights and responsibilities and know where to find culturally appropriate information for patients. Preventing and controlling healthcare-associated infections. This requires that you collect information on infectious status on admission, participate in the annual flu vaccination program, and ensure you are immunised against vaccine-preventable diseases. Complete hand hygiene and aseptic technique training. And always adhere to the 5 moments of hand hygiene, using alcohol-based hand rub if appropriate. Observe standard precautions for all patients. Risk assess your clinical tasks and use PPE when required. Be aware of how to report a blood and body fluid exposure. Clean equipment before and after each patient use. Medication safety. It's vital that you ensure the best possible medication history is taken on admission. Ensure allergies are documented in the patient information system and medical record. Access and understand high-risk medication policies and protocols. Ensure an independent double check is undertaken for all high-risk medications. Provide information to patients on the medications that they're receiving. And finally, access and use decision support tools to support safe medication practice. These include MIMS and the therapeutic guidelines. Comprehensive care. Make sure you always complete patient risk screenings and risk assessments as required upon admission, taking into account falls, pressure injuries, skin integrity, cognitive impairment, and so on. Develop a comprehensive care plan in partnership with patients. Always refer patients in a timely manner to specialist services, such as diabetes, wound care, continence, and dietetics, and plan daily goals with patients, recording them on the patient's whiteboard. Communicating for safety. It's important that you correctly identify patients each and every time before delivering care or treatment. Ensure that all clinical documentation is comprehensive and up to date. Make sure you always understand and communicate critical information regarding your patients when care is transferred. Ensure team timeout and surgical count processes are completed for all procedural patients, no matter where the procedure is taking place. And involve your patient in bedside handover using ISOBAR. ISOBAR refers to the handover process, which ensures the correct process is followed at each point of transfer. Blood management. Blood management is extremely important. You need to ensure consent is obtained before a blood transfusion is commenced, and ensure that an indication for the transfusion is documented. Making sure blood products are correctly matched to patients. Documenting vital signs during transfusion, as well as accessing and understanding the critical bleed protocol or massive transfusion protocol. Recognizing and responding to acute deterioration. It's essential that you recognize and respond to early physiological or mental health deterioration, as well as be familiar with the system in place to recognize and escalate care when required. It's also important to document and monitor vital signs. If a patient has modified observations, the new parameters must be documented. Ensure the emergency trolley is checked as per policy. Participate in mock emergency scenarios. Know and understand family escalation of care processes and educate your patient and their family and carers about them. Ensure your basic life support, advanced life support, or pediatric life support is current. And know where to find goals of care, advanced care plan, and advanced health directive forms in the patient's health record. All caregivers play a vital role in the delivery of high-quality, safe, patient-centered care. And we invite you to help us achieve exceptional performance against the national standards by following these guidelines. For more information, speak to your manager or visit www.nationalstandards.safetyandquality.gov.au.